Alright guys, welcome back. So in this video, we're going to be learning how to keep rows and how to remove rows in Power Query. So let's start with the first option, keep top rows. Imagine we have thousands of customers and our stakeholders or our colleague or the boss has requested that we print the top 10 customers so that we can use them for prolonged analysis or for deeper analysis. So we can rightly come to keep top rows and say, hey, I want to keep top 10 customers that we have based on the arrangement in the database. The top 10 does not necessarily mean the top 10 customer by sales or the highest purchasing customers, but rather how they have appeared on the data or the table. So I can keep top 10 rows, then say, okay, then this data is going to be limited to 1 and 10. So this is already keeping the first 10 customers based on how they are arranged on the table. As you can see, the formula that was auto-generated is table.firstn, and the n is the number that we've provided, 10. You can edit from the Power Query, from the M language as well. You don't have to write the formula from scratch, but you can edit it and say 20, and this is going to be from 1 to 20. We can go back and explore the option of keep bottom rows, which is the direct opposite of keep top rows. So this is keeping the bottom 10 or bottom 20. If I say keep the bottom 10, then we have the bottom 10 customers based on the arrangement on the table like this. And we can also reverse the step. We can also keep range of rows. For example, if we want to keep the customers from row 10 to row 20, so we can say, hey, I want to keep from row 10. And instead of us to now say, you can see the arguments. The first row, keep from 10, and then the number of rows after 10. It is not asking us for the limit or where we want to stop, the number of rows that we want to stop. It's asking us for the number of rows that we want to select after the first row. So I can say, hey, start from row 10, then keep the 10 rows after 10. So that means 10, 11, 12, then count 10 after the 10th row. So if I click on OK, then it's going to generate the customers from 10 to 20. So this is basically customer 10 to 20. Don't be confused with this number. This number is basically the serial number and the arrangement, but rather the content. So the content is from Rob Lucas to Nathan Gelder. And as you can see, from row 10, we have Rob Lucas to Nathan Gelder. So this is keeping from row 10 to row 20 and not keeping from row 10, and then you are going to put 20 as the number of rows that you want to select. Another option that we have under the keep rows is keeping duplicates. Duplicates is a very delicate transformation when it comes to data analytics. Let's say, for example, I come to customer name, then I say I want to keep only the duplicates. Or let's explore the category. Then I say I want to keep duplicates under the categories. So if I keep the duplicates, what is going to happen is that it's going to limit my value based on what we have at the moment. But before we start working on duplicates, we need to understand the basic and the fundamentals of duplication. Now, imagine we have a particular customer, with this customer, like Corey Saunders, and the customer purchased an item on the 1st of June or 7th of January 2011. What if this customer should make another purchase? Will the customer be seen as a duplicate or not? How does it work? Let me quickly make this explanation in Excel so that we all can understand the process. Let's say, for example, we have the Power Query editor open, so Microsoft Excel is not going to come up unless we load this data. Let me try and use Microsoft Power Query for the explanation. I'm going to try and sort the customer name in ascending order. As you can see, the data is going to be sorted Aaron Bergman. So that means a particular customer has purchased an item multiple times. But we are not sure if it is the same customer. A person can be bearing a name and another person is going to be bearing the same name exactly. But what we can use is the customer ID. As you can see, we have customer 10051 and the second customer is 10052. Both of them are the same name, Aaron Bagman. This man is from Indonesia and the second person is from United Kingdom. So which means that these two people are separate and not the same person. Now imagine that you have deleted duplicates. Let's try and remove duplicates. We are not there yet, but to see the scope and the concept of duplicates. If I try to remove duplicates from customer name, then what you notice is that Aaron Bagman has now been removed and to up to a single person. Now I only have a single person, Aaron Bagman. So situation when we have removed other Aaron Bagman, we would have contradicted or reduced our data unnecessarily because it is not just one person that is Aaron Bagman. So removing duplicates on customer name is not advisable or recommended because this is going to lead to deleting customers that we are not supposed to. If two people should be bearing the same name, we shouldn't remove duplicates from there because they may not necessarily be duplicates. So if I revert this step, then I'm going to say Aaron Bagman as well. Now you may be thinking that what if we remove the customer ID? What if we remove duplicates from the customer ID? But the truth of the matter is that Aaron Bagman patronized us the first time. The same Aaron Bagman patronized us the same time another time. This one is 100151, then 100151, which means this customer and this customer are the same person. He patronized us from Indonesia. Probably maybe he traveled down to Thailand and then he has made another purchase. And then the same customer, we have them coming twice. So the first time they came 6/23/2014 and the other time they came 12/28/2012. So that means this customer is not a duplicate. Rather, he has patronized us or buy from us more than one time. So to do this, we cannot also remove from the customer ID because removing from the customer ID is going to remove other transactions and keeping one of them. So we have to be very, very careful when we are trying to treat duplicates. And one thing that we should always look out for if we want to remove duplicates is the primary key. What cannot exist more than one time? We cannot also use order ID and we cannot use product ID. The reason why we cannot use product ID and the order ID is that if we have a product, let's say for example, book. A book that is produced at the same time may have the same product ID. The product may be book and so ever, or probably let's try and relate it to cars. If cars are manufactured at the same time, they are going to have the same model. We can say Lexus 350 and other car models. All of them are going to have the same model, the same thing with the product ID. So if products are produced at the same time, they are going to have the same product ID. The reason why we cannot use the order ID is because if you make a purchase online, for example, if you buy 10 items, all of them are ordered at the same time, the 10 items are going to have a single order ID because they are ordered at the same time. If you are from Jumia, or if you have used Jumia before in Nigeria, or if you have used AliExpress, which is a global e-commerce store, or if you have used any e-commerce global store before, you will realize that if you make a purchase, irrespective of the number of items that you've purchased, if you want to get your item, they are going to ask you for a single ID, which is the order ID. So that means one order ID is going to be for all the 10 products that you have ordered, which is also going to cause a duplicate. Now, how do we solve duplicates? The only way to solve duplicates is using a unique ID, which is called the row ID or serial number. If 2 cars or if 10 cars were purchased at the same time and they have the same model, the serial number is still going to be different. They can say, even if it is limited edition, they are going to say this is the first item based on the limited edition, this is the second, the third, the fourth, and so on and so forth. So that is how it works when you want to remove duplicates. So the row ID means each rows are going to have each or unique IDs. So row 1 is going to have its own ID, same as row 2, row 3, and so on and so forth. So this is how to remove duplicates. So if I come right here and say remove duplicates, then it's going to check if there is any duplicated row. If there is none, then it's going to leave it as it is. So if you want to keep rows or if you want to keep duplicates, you should have it in mind that You are doing the direct opposite of removing duplicates. So the next item is keep errors. And keep errors is basically if you have certain numbers or if you have a particular column. For example, we have region column, we have west, 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 then all of a sudden we have 22. So the 22 is a number while west are text. So in that case, it's going to tell us that this region has an error, which means a number is inside of a region or a textual column. The remove rows is the direct opposite of remove the keep rows, which is the remove top rows. We can try on our own to remove the top rows, remove bottom rows, remove alternate rows, which is more like remove if you want to alternate the rows. Let's say you want to keep row 1, skip row 2, remove row 3, keep row 4, remove row 5, keep row 6. That is alternating the rows. You want to remove one row while keeping the other. Then we have remove duplicates, which we have explained. We have remove blanks. If you have any blanks or missing values and you want to remove them, then we have remove errors, just like I've explained how we can identify errors. So in the next video, we're going to be exploring the sorting option, split column, and the group by. See you guys in the next video.